Good morning, students. How are you? Welcome to our next science lesson. And today's topic is threats to the environment. So, before we start, just reviewing what we learned the previous day, it's what is an ecosystem. So, it's actually a community in which both living things and non living things interact. We learned there are some living things and there is some non living things, they interact and there is a balance, right? Now, today we are going to see what are the different threats to the environment and explain its effects on wildlife and people. Now, let's look at these headlines. These are some environmental issues like reforestation could help. That means there has been deforestation and it had affected some places. The second one starts saying that Australian wildfires. So, we know there has been some forest fires over there. Then you have rapid increase in global light pollution. So now we know there is already air pollution, land pollution, water pollution. Now you can also see light pollution. So that's also affecting. And species in polar regions hard hit by climate change. So we know about climate change, the global warming. So these are also the problems. So what's actually happening? The human activities, most of the things we do, it's actually threatening the environment. Now let's do some brainstorming about the different threats to the environment. Can you think of any different threats which comes to the problems in the environment? Yes, you know many of them, right? Now we'll talk about some of the environmental problems which we face, okay? Now from this picture itself you can understand what is the main one problem. Yes, deforestation, plants or trees and forests are cut, and because of that what's happening, we are having less oxygen in the world, and also it's leading to so many problems. So people need more land, that's why they're cutting off the forest, reducing it a lot. So actually it is a very big problem which is leading to other problems. So some of the problems which we see here can be related to this. Now one is air pollution or water pollution or land pollution. It's all pollution. It's caused by emitting gases, throwing waste or dumping trash into the water. It can be rivers, oceans. It makes everything dirty. This is one kind of pollution. And then we know that we have land pollution where all the waste is dumped on the land, and the soil and everything is being polluted with the uh, chemicals and all. Now another one is global warming. The earth is getting warmer day by day, and because of that the ice in the cold areas are melting. And what happens when the ice melt? It become water, and then the water level or the sea level starts rising because all the water flows into the sea. Now another problem is overpopulation. When you have too much people and less area, it leads to a lot of problems. The cities are being crowded, they have less resources, everyone is trying to use from them. There is so much trash, they are polluting the land, they are polluting water. So many problems are being caused because of overpopulation, because people don't have enough resources. And then another one is just related to that, natural resource depletion. The natural resources are becoming lesser because people are using it, like the minerals or the rocks, the gold, the diamond, whatever. People are digging and taking and using it more. Another one is waste disposal. The waste, we know we have a lot of trash, especially plastic and those things. We just dump it anywhere. And even if we don't dump it anywhere, when you collect all the trash, where do you think it goes? It goes to some landfill sites where they have to dispose of this trash. And most of them plastic does not get mixed with soil, or it stays as it is on the land, and then it causes problem. Another one is climate change. Like we said, global warming, it's affecting the climate a lot. Some places which was very good, like garden, it's becoming hot and dry. The place which receives rainfall, not receiving anymore. The places which were receiving normal rain, it's receiving extra rain, floods are happening. It's really changing the balance of everything because of the climate change. Now you have loss of biodiversity. Now biodiversity, we have a lot of animals and plants on earth, but what happens when, because of the things we do, they are being extinct. We are doing cutting of trees, and we are having pollution on all those. So what's happening? You can see the first picture in December 2014, it was healthy. By February 2015, it started dying, and by August 2015, it's completely dead. So the whole thing is gone. It's under the ocean. So if under the ocean this thing is happening, what do you think is happening on the earth? And especially if these plants die, we learned already when we learned about the food chain and all. Once they die, everything else will die, because the whole food chain depends on the plants or the producers. And oceans, especially oil spills and all those problems, can kill, it can pollute the water and kill everything. Now, did you know that every day 5 million metal containers are dumped in the sea? Now, if we take the whole world, around 5 million metal containers. So just imagine how much pollution is being caused. Also, half a million plastic containers are dumped in the sea. Again, you think that sea we don't use, you dump, but it's actually affecting everything. And 300,000 glass containers are dumped into the sea. Now it's discussion time. So if you can open your pupils book, page 33, that's the lesson. Write the date on the top, and you can see some pictures over there which shows you about the pollution, about the waste dumping, about the things we discussed already. Now if you can go to 34, you will have an activity 1 over here. They are talking about the environmental problems. So for each problem, what are the threats to plants, animals, and people? What are the area affected, and what can be done? And also, some of the problems are local. Local means within the area. Just for example, Doha. What's happening only in Doha? If something is affecting only this city or the village, it's called local. National is when it affects the whole country. and global when it's affect the whole world. Now, most of the problems, it starts being local, and if you don't solve it, it becomes national, and then it becomes global. For example, let's say even pollution. In the beginning, it's local, only the city is being affected, but after some time, it started affecting the country and then the whole world. So, waste dumping. What do you think are the threats to the plants, animals, and people? You can just write any one over there. So, and what is the area affected? Is it local, national, or global? I think waste dumping is local because that area is affected. And threat to the plants, animals, and people, because when the waste is dumped, the soil gets damaged and then the plants cannot grow, right? And then it affects the people. So, what can we do? We have to dispose the waste. Actually, the main thing we can do is to reduce the as much as waste which we throw. Now, oil spills, yes, it pollutes the water and kills the whole thing living in water over there. And the area affected, it's national, you can say. It's not local because the whole country it gets affected, which is near to that ocean. And then misuse of water. Actually, it's a big threat because we have very less fresh water on the earth, and if we don't use it properly, what happens? Yes, we won't have any more fresh water for us to drink, and this is a global problem. So we need to reduce the wastage of water. There are so many steps which you can take, right? Now you have what you have learned. Global warming and deforestation are two. Yes, it's environmental problems that we face. Our environment is damaged by pollution, right? And by habitat destructions created by human actions. Waste disposal may affect the environment on a local, but problems such as deforestation, air pollution, global warming, it's national and global importance. Okay, so now you can open your notebook and we will do the check your progress. So don't forget to write the date, lesson number 9, threats to the environment, and page number 34, and the subheading, check your progress. Now, this is very easy. Give an example of local environment issue that affects your community. Now, just look at our community. Let's think of Qatar. What is the environment issue we face here? You can say it's getting hot, so global warming. You can say air pollution because of the traffic and too much. So just let's write one. Air pollution is one problem here, and a global solution is the next. Global problem is the second one. Give an example of a global environmental problem. What effect could this problem have on your community if it's not solved? So the problem is, let's take global warming. It's a problem. And what is the effect it can have if we don't solve it? It changes the climate, right? Climate change. And when the climate is changing, we are having so much problems. No rain, getting hotter. Year by year, the summer is becoming hotter and the winter is becoming less colder. So many problems. Okay, now we can move on to workbook page 14. It's easy. You have to match the threats to the environment of the correct image and draw lines. Oil spill. Which picture is oil spill? Yes, it's the letter C. So let's join it. Water pollution. Yes, D. Waste dumping. Yes, it's A. Air pollution. It's E. And deforestation is B. They are cutting trees. Now we move on to the next one. Complete the sentence with the words in the boxes. Harmful chemicals dumped in the area and the environment is a form of what? Pollution, diffusion, or inflation? Yes, it is pollution. Now, deforestation is an example of what destruction? Homeland, waste, or habitat? Yes, it's habitat. Habitat means the place where animals live. Water misuse can lead to what? Water sources, water shortage, or water supply? Yes, water shortage. There won't be enough water if we misuse or waste water. Last one, air pollution from fossil fuels is what? It's a global problem. It's not local, it's not decreasing, it's global because everywhere we have this problem. Now I have a homework for you. Draw a picture about one of the threat to the environment. Okay, take a new page in your notebook and draw this. So, thank you. That was an easy lesson. We already know about the threats. We will learn more about it, how we can solve it in the next lesson. What are the steps we need to take? All those things. So, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. Take care.